Absolutely.
Are you better? Do you think that might be like, because you get to, it makes you feel like the hero a little bit, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there probably is an aspect to that.
Yeah.
Because as men, right? Like we are socially programmed to be fixers.
Yeah.
But also growing up, you know, my parents worked a lot. I had to watch my younger siblings all the time. You know what I mean? And so like my focus has always, I mean, my entire life been on making sure the people around me, friends, you know, significant others, whatever, are, you know, okay.
Mhm.
Provide, protect, all that.
Yeah. And there's it's deeper than that, but we'll probably but somehow we'll probably circle back into that conversation later on.
That's gonna
But
come up
but
for
it's
sure.
deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think do you find that your approach to your emotional checking your emotional self is more cerebral than it is emotional?
Yeah. I think so. When I am upset, I start to ask myself a bunch of questions. Something I learned in therapy.
Okay.
Why am I upset?
Mm.
You know, am I at fault for the reason that I'm upset? Like, is it something that I did that caused said outcome, right? Is what I'm upset about even reasonable to be upset about? So I start cycling through a list of questions, you know what I'm saying? And typically by the time I get to the end of that process,
you're like,
I'm cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the other things. I realize that a lot of people say things they don't actually mean or that they can't take back when they're upset.
Yeah.
Right? And so then I'm like,
let me wait.
Let me run through this cycle real quick and see how I feel. Okay. And that's that. And there you go. That's emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's like that. Write the email down, but don't send it.
Right.
Yeah. Write it out. Read it.
I'm doing that right now with a family member. I'm like, I'm gonna write this email, but I'm not gonna send it until I've proofread it 3-4 times.
Until I read it a few times.
I do that with text messages.
Yeah.
I'll type out a whole text message and I won't send it. Like I'll do the whole thing, read it. I'll let it sit in my phone. And then I'll spin the block on it a couple of times, and I'll just be like, "Nah, it ain't even worth it."
But that kind of feels like emotional intelligence, or just like being emotionally vulnerable, if you will, because you are being smart enough to know, like, I shouldn't send this. I'm checking myself to be like, this is probably being emotional.
Yeah,
and I don't want to cause a fight. I don't want to say some shit I don't mean. Whatever. So, like, to me, that kind of falls into that category of
100%,
like, that's being a smart, emotionally aware person.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to be like vulnerable emotionally?
Like I'll cry,
or to anybody? Like
I'll cry at movies. I'll cry at movies all day.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't really count, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like some baseline. Like if you don't cry at movies, I don't trust
you're weird.
you.
Right?
So
Definitely weird.
But but to me, like I'm less likely with the people that I'm closest with, like my wife, like to. I don't want to burden somebody with my problems. I want to see how much I can fix on my own, how much I can handle on my own before I have to go to somebody, because not only does it put burden on them, but it also like shows a little bit of like weakness. And vulnerability.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
And like we can say we're these evolved men all we want to, but we're still have all these like centuries of coding of just like
right.
Man.
Exactly that. Yeah.
You know?
I think that for me, the reason why, like you touched on it, but I think the main reason is because I don't want to, it's not that I think that my wife will like use what I'm giving her to like do anything negative to me.
Right.
That's not what it is. I think for me, the socialized the programming part of it is I'm taught as a man that if you are vulnerable, then you like lose some type of power in your relationship.